So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Danielle Taylor.
Thank you so much, Lori. You are such a blessing to everyone that comes in contact with you. And thank you for such a dynamic job welcoming everyone to the call. This today is more of a public service. It's not formal. We're going to turn those chimes off so that we can get a clear line. But the real reason that we're pulling this together is because we're all in this big thing together. We are all dealing with different changes in our world right now, right? So for all of us, maybe some new adjustments. I know that as the days have gone by, or now the weeks, more and more people are reaching out and saying, hey, I'm doing really good over here, but some days I'm struggling over here. And so we put together a panelist of experts, and we're going to do this whole 6-week challenge to help you stay accountable to your own personal health and wellness goals, and also just to give you value and content, things that you can actually use in your everyday life to help you get prepared for summer, because we all want to feel better, but we all want to look better too. And I think that all ties together with our confidence and the way we hold ourselves, our energy, the way we have more things that we want to go out and accomplish. And so with that, I'm going to give you a couple recommendations. First, I would encourage you, we have put together a 6-week to summer challenge group page. It'll only be open and live for those 6 weeks. And so you'll want to go to Facebook and type in 6 weeks to summer challenge group and ask to join the group, okay? And then you'll get reminders when we post things in there. We will add value and content to that. We'll put success stories in there to help keep you inspired and help keep you motivated as you're walking through the next 6 weeks of your life, trying to make healthier choices. So without really any further ado, I'm going to bring some of our experts to the line here in just a moment and have them give you just a preview of what they're going to be speaking on. We pulled together some of the top of the top. When you talk about people who are really masters of their craft, who have served with a servant's heart and who go out every single day to make an impact in people's lives, and we start to attract those people. And this is so important as part of your thinking and your challenge, as we become the people we spend the most time with. In fact, there's a statistic out there that shows that you actually become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so it's so important to stay plugged in to positivity, to real value, to have realistic expectations for yourself, but also to give yourself a track to win on. So with that, we're gonna conclude at the end with a few easy steps that you can use this week. But just to hear from some of our panelists now, we'll just bring Dr. Monica to the line first. Dr. Monica, if you don't mind, share with the listeners what you do and a little bit about your topic and what you're going to be covering during our sessions this week.
Thank you, Danielle, and thank you so much for this very bright idea to gather us together, create a community, create a culture where everybody can feed from each other, where we all learn and nurture. And you know what? And this concept of social distancing, I'm in complete disagreement. I think we should call it physical distancing, because we're not being socially distancing from each other. More than ever, we need to be socially engaging and keeping each other close, not physically, but definitely socially in our minds. And I'm Dr. Monica Duran. I'm a family physician here in Illinois, and I've known you for several years. We had the pleasure to become very good friends and work together with Zilis. And I really want to, back to you, Danielle. You have been such an inspiration, such a person that brings the positive of everyone. And I've seen your growth, your becoming a true leader with this, company with Zilis. But really what you're doing here is beyond our company, beyond what we normally do every day, is just bringing people together. And I really applaud you for your leadership, for your mentoringship to all of us. And I think it's a phenomenal idea. So since I'm going to be the first panelist talking, I think we need to start from the very beginning. And I want to really acknowledge that what's the reality, what we're going through right now. This situation has affected us in different ways, but the reality is we all have been affected by what's happening. So I want to bring that as a number, acknowledge that, and really, address the issue that this is somehow a temporary situation. Our life will eventually go back to normal. But what we need to do right now is adjust to the changes, acknowledge the changes, and create certain routines that covers our real basic needs in these moments. And that could be different things for different people, but I think it's important to, never forget our health, our mental and physical health during these moments, the health of our families. And I'm going to talk about different things that, I've seen in my experience as a physician, family practice physician, and dealing with weight management for several years. So many things that I've learned in this industry that we can put and apply together, all of us, and make it our own personal, positive value that we all can learn. So we're going to be doing that next week, and I'm excited. I'm preparing different things that we all can benefit from. And I think it will be a great foundation for the follower speakers. The following panelists we will apply these concepts from day one to what they're going to bring into the table. So thank you, Danielle, for putting this together.
Thank you, Dr. Duran. And I love that, she's a physician and she's been dealing with health and wellness for 15 years in the field, face-to-face with people. And she's going to give great value to people that just need those basics, like she said, but also to get you through some humps. We're going to actually give you some actual takeaways each week so that we're not going to just give you information. We're going to actually give you some maybe actionable items that you can try putting in for accountability for yourself during the week. And so I think it's so important because when we can come together, like she said, and we're not physically together, but we're socially still connecting because that's how human nature and how we were designed. We work better as a unit. And so thank you so much, Dr. Duran. We're excited to hear your speaking next week, your topic, and all the value you're going to bring. That leads me over to Dr. Chandra Villano. Dr. Chandra Villano, please come to the line, share just a tidbit about your background, let everyone know who you are and what your topic is going to be, and maybe just a couple little bullets that you're going to be covering on your specific week when we get through this challenge. I know, because I've been around you for a while now, that you come to the table, just like all of these panelists, to bring more value to people's lives. And you have made it a commitment to yourself and to the people that come inside of your sphere of influence, that you're always going to add value to people's lives. So we're grateful to have you on the panelist for this 6 weeks to summer challenge. Chandra, I'll let you take the floor for a few minutes and share with everyone what you're planning on sharing.
Okay, great. Well, good morning to everybody out there from across the country. And yes, thanks, Dr. Duran. Based on us being able to be together, I think rewarding that and keeping our social connection is really important. And it's an honor to be here today. And I concur that this inspiration that Danny has put together for us and brought to fruition is going to be a really nice, positive inspiration coming into the summer months, which are inspiring of themselves. And I think when we feel better about our own health, our wellness, our engagement of self-care, it just picks it up all that much more. So the piece that I'm going to be bringing in a couple weeks is going to focus on an area that I think gets a bit of bad press, or in our society where, especially now with computers and technology, we can be working or be doing productivity 24/7 around the clock, is a place that gets abused is this area of sleep. And it is a time of restoration, rejuvenation, repair, and processing of memories and healing. And as that gets abused or shortened, it can really affect then what happens during our waking hours. And many of the national surveys that get done look at somewhere between 70 to 80% of people may have sleep disruption. And so in what I do in the world, I'm a naturopathic physician. I have had a primary care practice for 16 years. and work a lot with weight management and with hormone regulation, and especially working with cortisol and certain hormones in our body that can be related to our ability, excuse me, our ability to tolerate stress, our ability to get through daily life, to have energy, and especially to even balance our weight and our blood sugar. So it's all tapped together. So I'll just be offering some strategies and things that can really be applicable into your day, especially as some of us are sort of recreating ourselves and what our day looks like in this new fashion in the world. So we'll be reviewing the importance of it and kind of bringing that back in as literally part of a well-rounded self-care program.
I love it. And Dr. Chandra, I know that me personally, I struggled with getting great sleep, and sometimes I still have an off night, but I've definitely dealt with it, and learning that 77% of all Americans actually struggle to get a really good night's rest, and then how that affects your health. And listen, if you know anyone that is struggling with sleep or just getting that deeper, more restorative rest, get them on the call just to hear some of the tips, some of the value that she'll add. Because again, this is just a public service. We're not trying to push any agenda or sell anything at all. Some of us do take certain supplements that have helped us, and that's what's brought us together. But it's also bringing all of these amazing physicians and leaders together and sharing their wisdom and what they can bring to you, but also to the people that you may know. So we want to just make a huge impact, have a ripple effect on people's lives. I'm next to positive you know someone that is either struggling to just get their mental state right, or their health is sort of wavering a little bit, their stress is out of control, or they're not resting. And so please keep that in mind, because we'll start this really powerful kickoff next Friday. But with that said, I'm going to jump over to Miss Audra Nichols, who's a nutritionist. She's been a nutritionist and a health coach for over 20 years. And I will tell you that this woman has changed lives by the thousands. I know for a fact, because 20 years ago when I met her, she actually helped me as well. So Audra, you are such a blessing as well. Why don't you come to the line and give a quick little preview of what you're going to be covering and what kind of value you're going to be adding to people's lives. You may be muted. Let's see if we can get you unmuted. Audra?
There we go.
Oh, perfect. There you are.
Okay, beautiful. Yes, like you said, I actually have been in the health and wellness industry for about 23, 24 years, more clinical background, but went into the health food industry and have chosen just to do things more holistically. And myself, much like some of these other panelists, we will be talking more about food and how our diet can also play a role into disrupting hormones and aging. And even gut health. And so I'm going to touch a little bit about the dietary part within this and through the stress. And so since we've all had to make changes, it's an ideal time to add these additional changes. You know, if nothing else, we're planting seeds. We're giving you the tools and the education, because there's so many different things I don't believe that people understand can be influencing their health by what they're putting into their mouth and what they're eating. So I'm going to kind of go into that, and we're going to talk about what food can do for optimal health, gut and digestion health, and even just trying to keep us anti-aging. So that's what I'll be talking about this on May.
I love it. So Audra, thank you. That is powerful. And I know even for me personally, again, if I'm being transparent, what we're putting in our bodies, what we're putting in our mouth for food and our dietary needs, it affects our emotional state too. And so I know that sometimes when things feel out of control, or we're in a position where it's one thing when we social distance on our own terms, but when we have to practice that because we're under a shutdown, lockdown, then some people, and myself included, have turned to the wrong types of food to bring in comfort. And then that causes kind of a spiral. And so I'm so looking forward to your segment. So I'm going to be coming to the line with a notepad and notes so I can take copious amount of notes and be able to apply that. This is for accountability for all of us. Maybe for you, you've already been able to keep your eating under control. If you have, that's awesome. You're still going to get value out of all of these speakers, and what they're each going to bring is their own expertise, but you will hear something new every single week that will add to your toolbox to stay healthy and proactive so that you can live your best life. Now, last but not least on our speaker panelist, I will tell you that this gentleman right here, Dr. Stephen DeLuca, you want to talk about a powerhouse. This man is a board certified orthopedic surgeon. He graduated top of his class. He is very passionate about endocannabinoid health, and he brings an incredible impact to the community that he lives in, but not just that, he's actually spread this across the nation, and now he has gone global with his expertise. He decided very short time ago, once he saw the actual effects of what the endocannabinoid system brings to the health of the body, he passionately started pursuing research on it. And so we're excited, cannot wait for your segment. Dr. DeLuca, if you don't mind, share just a little bit of your preview of what you're going to be speaking of on your segment.
Yeah, thank you, Danielle. As she mentioned, I'm a board certified orthopedic surgeon here in Pennsylvania. I became really interested in the endocannabinoid system about 2 years ago, and so much so that when I'm not reading about orthopedic surgery, I'm reading about the advances of the endocannabinoid system. And it's just fascinating to me. It's a brand new science. I'm super excited about it. And, you know, it's really going to tie together all the other speakers into the ECS, because the ECS really is the way your body processes all these external stimuli internally. It's the way we regulate ourselves. So it's very pertinent to all the things we're all going through. You know, why is it so important to try to get out there and get a little exercise? Well, that's because your endocannabinoid system needs you to increase your anandamide. You know, that may be why you want to reach for chocolate all day, is because, you know, your body's out of equilibrium and it needs to do something to get it back in. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, you know, exercise and why that's important. I'm also going to talk about, you know, things you could do at home to try to, you know, improve just exercise, easy things to do at home, basic things, you know, very conscious of people's joint pains, back pains, things like that I see all day, every day. But most importantly, I'm going to talk about, you know, how these things interact with your body's endocannabinoid systems and what exactly is the ECS and why it's so important, especially at a time like this, where it's really going to tie in all the things that all the other speakers had mentioned all into one. And it's going to make sense as to why, you know, you can have problems with, you know, sleep and appetite and diet and stress and all these other things, and how that's going to affect you overall. So I'm super excited to share this with you all. And I'm very thankful for Danny and the other panel members. And I'm very honored to be on the panel with these other super qualified physicians and things. So thank you for the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to week 5. So
we are honored to have you. And Dr. DeLuca, I think you're reading my mail. Yeah, he's talking about reaching for chocolate and ways to get your body moving and working out. And of course, I can tell you that I can feel that little bell ringing in my head when I hear him saying that, because it's so true with all the changes, you know, going and readjusting your schedules and trying to figure out how to fit things in differently. So my goodness, we're so excited and so blessed and honored to have you on this team, but also on this panelist for the 6 weeks to summer challenge. We are so looking forward. You're going to be like the grand finale of all of the speakers, pulling all of the components together and giving some real takeaways to people. So keep encouraging all of you that jumped on today to keep getting on every single week. Put a reminder on your calendar. You do not want to forget. You want to put some sort of an alarm. Block it out as sacred time for you, for self-care, for self-love, but also for people that you care about and you want to stay healthy along with you. Maybe my best advice would be get an accountability partner, someone that will join you on the call every single week. You can discuss those things during the week. You can maybe text each other back and forth and find out, hey, did you do X, Y, Z? Did you follow this? Or I did this and it actually felt great. It's going to give you the win that you're looking for. But there's so many small things that we'll talk about. Taking your supplements, make sure that, you know, if someone else is having great results and they're feeling better, find out what they're doing. What are they taking? And then do what they're doing. Drink your water. This is critical. I have mine all day. I'm sipping on that and trying to make sure that I stay hydrated. I want to encourage you, like he just said, like Dr. DeLuca said, take 20 minutes of getting fresh air somehow, some way. Even if you're in a colder climate, bundle up and get outside and get some fresh air and stay safe, but get out there and get your body moving a little bit, maybe get some sunshine. And then of course, I highly recommend a journal. You know, how are you feeling and what's going right in your life? What's going well? Think of the positives. Name 3 things every day that you're grateful for. And that'll get your mind on the right things. And then ask yourself, okay, what can I improve on? I've done this well, I've done this right. Now what do I want to do for the weeks ahead? And keep yourself a journal, because what you write down will actually give your brain, neurological science will show that you can actually use that pen to paper as a tool to give your subconscious mind something to work on. And then I would just encourage you to keep yourself surrounded with the right people. So with that said, I want to thank all of the panelists. I cannot wait. I am literally looking forward to this myself. This is, again, a public service. It is free. Anyone is welcome to join. Please remember to get on our group page on Facebook. All you have to do is type in 6 weeks to summer challenge group, ask to join, and we will include you in that. And we will also be posting helpful hints, helpful tips, maybe a healthy recipe here and there, things that you can actually use. It'll help you create that community and that accountability as well. So thank you, everyone. We're going to go ahead and keep these calls nice and short every week so that you can get back to your day. And again, we're looking forward to seeing all of you healthier and all of us being able to celebrate together one day when we can get back together. But summer is right around the corner. So God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next call. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Danielle.
You're so welcome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks, guys.
You are awesome. Thank you. There is a link for those of you that are still on, posted in the chat box if you want to grab that link and go to that group page. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Danielle. Have a great weekend.
You too, Judy. Thank you.
All right.
Sarah, it was good to see you pop on.
Great way to plan our life.
Thank you.